Ever wander through an old bookstore?
Trail your eyes looking for more.
And there it is, all torn and full of lore.
Then you belong here. Lift your glasses and let's give a cheer.
Huzzah!
Welcome
to the Secondhand Poet.
All right, hi friends. Welcome to another installment of the Secondhand Poets. This is a very special episode. As you know, we talked before about our recent trip to New Orleans, and we went to the Crescent City Bookstore. Shout out to those guys at the Crescent City Bookstore. You guys were amazing, and we found a lot of stuff there. Honestly, we walked out with this huge pile of poetry, and in that pile was this little envelope of cards that we were very intrigued by. The proprietor there behind the counter was excited that we had picked it up because he was a friend of this poet who is listed here as Yictove. Mm-hmm. That was his pen name, Yictove. Yeah. And his actual name, I have my notes, Eugen Melvin Turk was his legal name, but he went by Yictove. He was born in 1946, and he was obviously born in New Orleans. Mm-hmm.
13.
I'm sorry?
13.
Okay, that's good. That's huge. Woo, that's good. Good find.
So, I'm sorry, Kay?
He passed.
In 2013.
Oh, he passed in 2013,
13,
not 7.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we were looking online trying to find information about this guy. You mentioned that he hadn't, you had trouble finding information about him too.
I did.
But he, apparently, we found 2 different dates of death. But he died in 2013, apparently. We're finding out now. Mm-hmm. But he was a street poet in New Orleans and had quite a following in that area. He ended up leaving New Orleans after Katrina. We'll get into a little bit more about what his past did, but what he did after leaving New Orleans. But I wanted to introduce you to Mike Guinn, a friend of the Sea Dogs, who I wanted to get his take on this because he has spent a lot of time working with people that are in a similar situation, the lower socioeconomic folks, mm-hmm. and helping kids and helping people climb out of that desperate situation. And I really wanted to get your take on his poetry because a lot of it really spoke to me, and I was hoping that it would speak to you too.
It does. I found that Mr. Turk definitely, he was connected to the community. His work, spoke from a very community perspective, about poverty and the plight of people and dealings with the police and, a lot of the similar things that are going on today that, is still very relevant. So his work to me, still is very, very important and significant in how you express yourself. And he did that very well.
I thought so too. I really enjoyed reading. Now, this is a little blue packet. You might be able to find them. I think from what I heard, he had 50 some odd of these printed up, and he would stand out on the streets in New Orleans and hand out cards while he was reading poetry. So there's a lot of people that probably have 1 or 2 of these cards. Yeah. This is a complete set of all of the cards. Wow. For his first publication. Mm-hmm. He later put these out in a book. Now you can find the book. It's called DJ Soliliquy by Yictove. And the book is available on Amazon. It's kind of pricey.
How much is it?
But I think the book is over $100.
Oh, just $100.
Just but these packets you can find on eBay. Some of them go as high over $400. I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's really good poetry. He has kind of a cult following, I think. So, but we invited Mike to come read some of these. So get us started off, Mike.
All right. Well, the first poem by Mr. Melvin Eugene Melvin Turk, is a poem titled Political Situation. And I love this piece. Political situation, getting hard to criticize. Political situation, getting hard to realize. Political situation, getting hard to understand. Political situation is getting out of hand. Political situation is raising temperatures extremely high. Political situation, it is wrapped in a mystery. Political situation, it is one catastrophe. Political situation gets more frightening every day. Political situation, I wish it would go away.
Wow.
Very powerful.
Wow, that is powerful.
I love this piece, man. And you know, right now we're in the midst of a lot of political situations. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's going to be great.
As we're recording this, this is the week after, the weekend after the Capitol was stormed by Trump supporters and the insurrection was attempted.
We can laugh about it.
We all
but
sat
yeah.
in just awe. I mean,
Mhm.
I couldn't believe this was happening
Right.
in our country, and that couldn't be more relevant.
Again, the artist was ahead of his time, and you know, again, a lot of political situations. Yeah.
Wow. So
What you got?
I have. This is one is called Consequence, which I also read through this morning when we were prepping for this, and when I was choosing poems to read, and this one I sort of just skimmed over last time.
Okay.
But today, after the events of last week, it really spoke to me. So again, connected with the political situation, it's called Consequence. Judgment without justice causes a serious consequence. Child without guidance causes serious consequence. A woman without shame causes serious consequence. Man with too much pride causes a serious consequence. Water without boundaries causes a serious consequence. Life without love causes a serious consequence. Someone pushes a button. Boom.
Wow. That is, woo, man. That's hitting
right?
close to home right there.
Yeah, it is.
Man. Woo, man. I know that poem is pushing buttons right now.
Yeah, it
for
is.
a lot of people.
It pushed my buttons this morning, I have to say.
I bet it did.
It just gave it new meaning. And that's the thing about poetry. Good poetry, it always seems fresh.
Yeah.
You know, there's some things about the human condition that don't change.
Right.
And like you said, I think this guy was ahead of his time.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And he wrote 2 books, by the way. There's another one in addition to this collection. There's
Really?
another collection.
Okay.
It's not quite so pricey, apparently.
This one right here is, I can see why it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have another poem by Mr. Eugene. It's called Took Us. They took us. They really took us across the sea, took us into captivity. They took us away from our harmony, our land of quality. They took us into a catastrophe, into disunity. They took us into confusion every day, corporation power play. They took us into their strange insanity, unlawful morality, hostile society. They took us, grabbed one and ran away, took us. Last one went yesterday. Wow. Man. So you already know, I mean, how this sits with me. You know, I know what it's talking about, but it really, to be honest, it can be talking about a little bit of everything. A lot of times, you know, a lot of people get taken in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not just, you know, the obvious that I would think of, meaning, you know, slavery or something like that. It could be, you know, human trafficking, could be anything, or it could be taking something from someone.
Sure.
Or taking, you know, their innocence. So this is
They took this away.
They took it. So I love this piece by Eugene.
That's
It's
awesome.
great. Oh yeah.
I did some research on him, and you can hear his empathy in his poetry,
Right.
and you can see it in his eyes if you find pictures of him online, which you should look up.
Right.
He was a pretty good sized guy. Looked like a big man. I obviously didn't see him in person,
Yeah.
but in pictures he looks like this gentle giant. You can see like his body's so big because it had to contain his heart. He just looked
man.
huge, you know.
That
Right?
was nice right there, bro.
You like that?
I loved
Yeah.
it, man. You may see it again.
Oh.
I'm just saying. You may see it again. A quote on Facebook.
But you can just see the kindness oozing out of him.
Yes.
Just looking at his picture. I don't know what it is, but look him up. He had a pretty interesting life.
Yeah.
So after leaving New Orleans, he went to New York, and I guess he moved to New Jersey,
Right.
Newark, because nobody can afford to live in New York.
Yeah, right.
but he was very active in the New York poetry scene.
Good.
So I think I have to look at my prompter down here because I think I'm next here.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Right. So this one is called Residence in America. So tired of this vegetation, I took green leaves and taste is bitter. The air, people complain. We tell each other of quiet attempts at suicide, jumping off buildings, jumping on tracks or pieces of broken glass. I have dreamed of American desert, skin burned. I have dreamed of stampeding buffalo, me crushed. Take away this cup of icy water from the prisoner's hand. Edge of the river is waxed in blood. I'm a Hebrew who's singing. More than a penny worth of pain, color of the sun, America. Mighty curse upon my people, this, the threat angels spoke of. There's a lot in there.
That imagery, man.
I know.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah,
so descriptive, man. He painted a picture.
Yes, he did.
Oh my.
He liked to paint with words,
Right.
and that's a big part of what poetry is to me.
Yeah.
But this one really has a lot of imagery in it, which is why I picked it.
Right. I can see.
But it's again, you can see his empathy for those that are having trouble finding a way out.
America, the curse the angel spoke of.
Yeah,
Man.
Now I don't know what this means, but in one of the things we found out about him in our research is that he was Hebrew. I don't know if he was legitimately genetically Hebrew, or if he converted to the Hebrew to Judaism.
Right.
But he thought of himself as Jewish.
Right.
So that's why there's a reference in here. I'm a Hebrew who's singing. So that line was referring to him and his experience as a Jewish person.
Yeah. All right. All right. Next up from Mr. Eugen Turk.
I think I'm.
Are you ready? Oh, you are.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, man.
That's
I just
right.
want to keep reading, man.
Well, we got to.
I can't afford the book though.
So the master of ceremonies back behind the camera has elected that I should go 2 in a row. I don't know why.
And whatever she says goes.
That's right. That's right. So this one's called Step by Step.
Okay.
Step by step, you'll reach the top. Step by step, if you don't stop. Children, listen. Don't you rush around and around. There's plenty of stuff in town. The valley may be a little low. You'll get through if you just go. Step by step, you'll reach the top. Step by step, if you don't stop. Children, listen. Anyone can fall down. Dirty themselves on the ground. Imagine you can grab a cloud. listen to it soft, and listen to it loud. Step by step, you'll reach the top. Step by step, if you don't stop. Listen, she kissed you, and she forgot. That's no reason to frown. Pretty, pretty girls all around. Step by step, you may get a little kiss. Right attitude, and you won't miss. Big bright sun, it lights the sky. If you lose once, just try, try, try. Step by step, you'll reach the top. Step by step, if you don't stop.
Very empowering piece.
Yeah, it is.
That's a well-made piece. That's something that you could read to students or anybody else in a situation where they may be, not as confident. That's a very, very powerful and positive poem.
Just don't stop.
Don't stop.
Find a goal,
Mm-hmm.
go for it, and don't stop. Just keep going until you get it.
Yeah, step by step. To me, says make a plan, follow the plan, step by step.
And one little step at a time. It might take a lot of steps,
Right?
but you can get there. Just don't stop.
That's right.
It's another it's the age-old little engine that could, right?
Right.
Just don't. I think I can.
I think I can. Right.
Step by step, you'll reach the top.
Mm-hmm.
That one really speaks to me. I guess everybody has their own stories about things they've overcome in life, and the easiest way to overcome it is just keep going.
Right.
Work past it.
Yeah.
Slog through.
Yeah. I think we've all can attest to that.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is policeman. They come crashing through the door. Put some people on the floor. Flashing their shiny steel, swearing that they for real. Saying, "We the policeman. We the policeman." Rip your shirt off you. Put handcuffs on you too. We don't take no mess off you. Take you to town. We the policeman. We the policeman. Break the law and we waste no time. We gonna get you for your crime. We the policeman. We the policeman. Put you in our house, baby, make you stay a year or just a day. We the policeman. You can scream if you must, scratch, fight, or cuss. We take you away. We the policeman. We the policeman.
Wow.
Man.
That's-
I'm just saying.
if that's not relevant, none of these are.
I'm just
right?
saying, man. I'm just saying right there, it is, man. And it just, to me, like even back then, it wasn't so far, too long ago, but police, and the fear of them and what it meant when they were around is, that's what this is.
Yeah, especially in the 70s, 80s, when he was really big in that area. That was before the Black Lives Matter movement and the current. We're trying to bring light to that that part of our society that we're not real happy with, right?
That's true.
But that really speaks to the fear that people had or the disdain they had for the police,
Right.
which is unfortunate, and hopefully we can get past that.
Yeah, policeman, not policeman, not
Right.
police, but policeman.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
the man is
I
what
think
I'm
there's
thinking.
a difference.
The man.
Yeah.
So,
The policeman.
all right, man, great.
All right. So, money. Yeah, everybody's got a story about money.
They do.
Money won't buy love, so the story's told. Money won't buy affection when you grow old. Every wise man and every fool can see money is a problem for you and me. Don't be fooled, it's only an exchange, a change from one hand to another hand change. People take money too seriously, trying to make their own dreams part of reality. Depending on our finance, our games of chance, we all buy more things than we really need. We all seem to have this filthy greed. Nuclear toys for the boys, lipstick for the girls. Money was not used at the start of time. It was invented by man to get what he can. Remember, money won't buy love, so the story's told. Money won't buy affection when you grow old. There's a lot of wisdom in it.
I think it speaks for itself.
Yes, I think it does.
Yeah.
You know, money won't buy happiness, but you know, it sure don't hurt.
You said
But,
that right.
You know, there's a kind of diminishing point of return with how much money do you really need at some point.
Yeah.
It's better to at some point it's better to focus on what you need to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point.
But you got to start. I mean, you have to have enough money to feed your family and
Right.
you know, take care of the basics.
Right.
And it's hard to be happy if you don't have those basics.
Right.
So, yeah, it won't buy happiness, but it doesn't hurt to have it sometimes.
It
But
didn't hurt to have it at all.
yeah, but
Does-
I think there is a point of you can get so much that it's hard to be happy with
Right.
more and more and more.
Right. For some, it's never enough, though. You know that.
That's true.
And
Yeah,
he spoke about that in the
that's true.
piece.
For
Like,
some, it's never enough.
all right, we'll close out with this last poem by Mr. Eugene Melvin Turk. It is called American Money. We're going to stand on the money theme here. All right, here we go. You got to have the money in America. Got to have the money if you want to go far. Money can give you style and a big, big smile. Mixed with various people in a high, high class. Drink expensive water from a pretty, pretty glass. Nickel or dime is a waste of time. If you want much more than luck, you got to have the buck. Money in your bank is a guarantee, especially if it's multiplying annually. Jeff or Joe or Jim or him got to have the money sink or swim. Money in America, rah, rah, rah. Money in America, shish, boom, bah. Eugene Melvin Turk.
Wow, awesome.
Man, if you can afford to get that book out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But thanks for coming and reading this. But
I appreciate it.
Mike Guinn is, as you can tell by his readings, he's an actual poet, right?
I'm
he's,
with
he's not just a hack
by
like the
default.
rest of us.
By
here.
default. I'm
We
hanging out.
really appreciate you coming.
Well, I
coming
appreciate
by
it. I
to-
mean, this is fun, and I'd love to come back. I mean, you finding these gems of poets that I never would have heard of. Again, that in itself is very valuable to learn about someone who probably I never would have learned about had I not got an invitation to come and be a part of this podcast. So I really appreciate what you're doing here.
Yeah, that's why we love digging through that pile of poetry books at the secondhand bookstores. We find really interesting gems.
Right.
So, well, I know you're a really busy guy, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days. What's going on with you?
Well, right now I'm taking over this podcast, and I'm kidding. I'm doing a lot of good things, but mainly I'm working. I'm a dad. Just want to make sure that my family is okay. Every once in a while, I write and read poetry, and I host some things, and I'm doing some acting, and I've got some things coming up for TV and stage, and trying to do as much as I can with this whole COVID thing. But staying active and really appreciate these invitations to come and be a part of just a stellar showcase of poets which is what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for
I appreciate
coming and sharing the poetry with us.
Bam!
All right. So, as you know, we'll be back next month with another installment, and we hope you enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think in the comments, probably down below somewhere, depending on where you're at consuming this. And we hope that you remember to be kind,
Be safe
be sane,
and be poetic.
awesome. Well done.
That's
One
$5.
more fist bump. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other jazz down below. And come back next month for another great poetry book discussion.